Hey guys, welcome to Coldplay Creations, and in today's video you're probably wondering what all this stuff is here on our counter, and what are we doing today?
Well, we're going to show you a few tips and tricks to keep your reptile budget at a bare minimum. We're going to share with you some of the things that we do, life hacks if you will, the way we keep reptiles and save a little bit of money. So you guys come along with us as hopefully we'll share a few tricks with you that you can incorporate into your reptile keeping hobby. So guys, when it comes to saving time and money, one of the things that will surely cost you more money is having to replace escaped reptiles. When you keep your animals in rack systems or cages, you always want to make sure that those cages are secure. So my daughter Anna is going to explain to you what we use in order to ensure that we don't have any animals escape from their enclosures.
Okay, so this first life hack I'm going to be showing you guys is for those of you who keep your snakes in rack systems like us. Now, the only thing about racks that we don't like is there's no way to lock them. Although they are really great to put your snakes in, but there was one time where we had two boas in the same cage get out, and let's just say my mom was not very happy about that. So one way that we found to keep our snakes in the rack systems is just to use these little clips right here. You can get these for like $1 a piece at Lowe's or Home Depot, and then you just put them onto the little shelves right here. That way, this cage right here, when you push it out, this keeps it from going out so they can't get out of that. And then also this cage right here, the top of it won't be able to slide out at all. So we just clip these on every other little shelf, and these are just a way to help keep the snakes in the rack systems since there is no way to lock them in. But it's really inexpensive and it's a great hack, and we use it for all of our racks.
Guys, one of the next trips we're going to talk about is something that's pretty popular right now in our culture. It's called recycling. Now, almost everybody knows what these are. These little guys right here, you get the nice little Christmas cookies in during the holiday season. Now, these plastic bowls right here are absolutely perfect to use or to recycle as water bowls for your snakes. Now, one of the nice things about these water bowls, as many of you already are aware, they don't tip over easily. Snakes will crawl up on the side, the water bowls can tip on their side and spill water out in the cages. One of the things that we found that helps not to spill the water is to incorporate the lid into the design. Basically, we cut a hole right in the center of the lid, we fill the bowl with water, we put it on, and then if the snake tips it a little bit, it's not as likely to spill. Because of the hole inside. It gives them enough room that they can go inside to soak if they need to. It also gives them enough room that they can have a drink, and it makes the bowl a little more sturdy and doesn't allow the water to slosh out. And also, if you use bedding in your reptile cages, when the snake's crawling into the water bowl, the lid seems to knock off a little bit of that bedding, so there's not a ton of bedding inside the water bowl. Like most of you guys are probably aware of if you don't use a lid on your water bowls. Now, another little trick, in the summertime, if you live in the South, you probably have your air conditioner running and it's drying out the air. There's a lot of animals out there that love humidity, like ball pythons, some of the more exotic animals. They love humidity, but inside your home with your air conditioner running or your heater running, the air is drying out and the humidity drops very low. Something that we found that we can do is just to take one of these bowls here with the lid cut in here, take a paper towel, cut the paper towel or just fold it up into pieces, put it in the bottom of these, spray it down with water really good, and just get it nice and moist. Put the lid back on and then sit this over your heating pad. What happens is as the water you sprayed on the paper towel begins to evaporate, it creates a nice little humidity cave. If you have trouble or issues with ball pythons or baby boas or something like that shedding their skin in one piece, if you'll make a small humidity cage with one of these plastic tubs, a paper towel, and a little bit of water, you can probably get your animal to shed out in one piece a lot better by a simple little humidity cave hack. So guys, while we're on the subject of keeping snakes in racks, I want to tell you a little story that happened to a friend of mine last week, and this is a story that we hear all too often, and that is the rack system overheated and our friend lost a lot of his snakes. Now, some of you watching this, you've probably had that happen to you, or at least had it happen to someone you know. Now, there's nothing wrong with rack systems. There's nothing wrong with flex water, keeping animals in such a way. However, one of the things that you have to do is to ensure that your heating devices do not overheat. Now, one of the ways that we do that is by incorporating 2 thermostats. If you watched our videos on Burmese pythons and retics, we showed you how we always use 2 thermostats so that we can ensure that if one thermostat fails, we have a backup thermostat that will shut that cage system down. Now, one of the other ways that a cage system can fail is if the probe for your thermostat falls off of the heat tape. Now, this is exactly what happened to our friend last week. The probe itself fell off the heat tape. The probe was checking the room temperature, and the heat tape continued to get hotter and hotter and hotter until eventually the cages got so hot that our buddy lost some of his collection. Very expensive mistake, by the way. So every single time you clean your rack systems, you need to check. It needs to be a part of your routine maintenance. All you have to do is mark somewhere on your rack where you've got your probe. Now, in our case, our probe is right here on this cage. So we're just going to slide the cage out, and we're going to go in here, and the thing you want to do is to use a flashlight or something so that you can see where your probe is. So what we're going to do is just turn on the flashlight of our phone. We're going to shine back in there. We're going to take a look at that probe, and we're going to make sure that the tape is still secure, the probe is still in place, and we do this every single time we clean our cage, because if this probe comes off that heating tape, these animals can overheat very, very quickly. So guys, think safety and protect those animals. So guys, one of the other things we want to tell you about that'll save you a little bit of money. Now, everybody's gone to the various pet stores, and you see the little jars of insect water. Those jars generally run anywhere from $5 to $10 per jar. Now, I want to show you a product that we sell. It is, we call this the insect watering gels. Now, this is a product we sell. This whole bag right here is $8. This is actually the product that you're buying for, well, anywhere again from $5 to $10. Basically, this stuff right here will make about a dozen of those jars. So for $8, you can buy a dozen $5 to $10 jars. Now, it's very, very simple to make. Basically, all you need is a clean jar. You can recycle a ragu, spaghetti jar, mayonnaise jar, anything that you have. Basically, what you want to do is just put a little bit of these inside the jar like so. Just a little bit of that, doesn't take much. Close the jar back up, you got plenty left over. And then you want to take a little bit of water and pour into your jar. Like so. Now, take your cap, put back on, and give this stuff about a half an hour, and we'll come back to it and we'll show you what it looks like. So, here is our jar about 30 minutes or so later. Now you open this up, and basically this is what you've got. This turns into a nice jello type substance. Now this looks very similar to the stuff that you're probably used to seeing in the pet store. The only difference is usually the pet store brand is either orange or maybe it's blue. We just don't add any food color to ours. It's all natural. Now, the nice benefit of this watering gel is if you need to water insects to feed your lizards like crickets, superworms, mealworms, or roaches, there's a couple of different ways that you can give them water. The old traditional way of cutting potatoes in slices and giving them to it that way. The problem with it is, if you want to go out of town on vacation, you slice up a bunch of potatoes and you give them to your insects. By the time you get home, you're going to have that stench and that stink of rotting vegetables in your cages. This stuff right here doesn't have any odor. It doesn't stink. it will stay moist like this for quite a while. So you can just put a few spoons full of this stuff in your cage with your insects. Now you can't use water bowls with insects because crickets drown, mealworms, superworms, all those things will drown. So this is a nice alternative, save you a lot of money, save you a lot of time, and save you from having to smell stinking, rotting vegetables in your insect cages. So guys, in the reptile community, incandescent light bulbs have long been used as a source of heat to provide warmth for our reptiles. Now, just like human beings, reptiles like a day and a night time, and they don't want a light bulb going on and off. So the reptile industry came up with a solution to that, and that was by using either red or black light bulbs to produce heat at night without producing any light, thus interfering with the day and night cycle. Now if you go into a pet store and you buy these black bulbs, you're going to pay a pretty good bit of money for them. But we found a solution that we have used for a couple years now that can save you a little bit of money. You want to tell them about it?
Yes, if you go to a pet store, the cheapest that we've ever seen one of those bulbs is like maybe $7. But after Halloween, when you go to the store and you go to the Halloween section when everything's on sale, you can find these black bulbs right here for only 50 cents a piece, which is really nice, and it will save you a lot of money.
Speaking of these light bulbs, if you're using light bulbs, like these guys they're 60 watts, so they produce a pretty good bit of heat. What you're going to want to do is find a way to protect your animals from getting burned by these light bulbs, which brings us to our next hack. Now, if any of you guys actually fish, you probably know what this is. This is a minnow trap. Now, this is something that we have incorporated in our cage design, and basically what you're going to want to do is just take this trap apart. It comes apart into two pieces like this, and these make absolutely great screens to go over your light bulb. And we'll show you those in the cage in just a minute. Now, they do have an opening right here. If you're keeping big snakes like boas and pythons, they're not going to be able to pass through. But it's pretty simple just to take your hands and to squeeze that mesh together so that the snakes can't get through it. So let's go over here and take a look at these actually being incorporated into our caging. So as we open up this blood python cage, I want to show you this right here. This is one of the black bulbs that we were telling you about. You can buy these after Halloween very inexpensively, a lot cheaper than at the pet store. And then you put this around it. We just simply screw it into the top of our cages, and this keeps our animals from being able to come into contact with that hot bulb and get themselves burned. So just a simple little hack. Hope you guys will incorporate that to protect your snakes and to save yourself a little bit of your hard-earned money. So guys, talking about reptiles and keeping reptiles, there is a plague among reptile keepers, and it is known as the mite. Now, mites, kind of like fleas on a dog, it's not a shame to get them. If you have never had a problem with mites in your reptile collections, probably because you haven't been keeping reptiles long enough. Sooner or later, everyone that has a dog has to deal with fleas. Sooner or later, everyone that keeps reptiles are going to have to deal with mites. So we got a couple of solutions here. We offer on our website and on eBay an all-natural mite elimination kit. Basically, this is an insecticide-free way to get rid of mites. It's all natural products, works really good, and it's safe. These are currently $10 on our website. If you don't mind using insecticides, probably one of the products that we recommend the most. In fact, we use this product ourselves as a preventative to mites, as well as if we ever have a mite problem in any of our quarantine cages. This is Preventamite. Now, this stuff is about twice as much as the mite kit. However, if you've got a large collection, there is nothing more that we recommend than Preventamite. And if you use it according to the directions on the can, it's safe, it's effective, and we have not found a product better than this Preventamite right here. So if you guys need this, check out our website, www.coldbloodcreations.net, and we'll get one of these out to you. So guys, we actually breed our own rats, and we know many of you guys do too. Now, you can invest in automatic watering systems. One of the problems with the automatic watering system is sometimes the tips get stuck, and we've heard of people actually drowning a tub full of rats when the little nipples on them get stuck, the water fills up inside the tubs. The alternative to that is to buy the bottles that have the little spout with the ball in the end, and they can lick that and get water. I'll show you a neat little hack that we have been using this technique for years, and we've had great success with it. We recycle these jars. This is basically a ragu spaghetti sauce jar. You can use a mayonnaise jar, anything. One small hole right in the middle of the lid like this. You can use a nail, you can use some kind of poker, just something for one tiny hole. Now, you only want to use one hole. If you put two holes in there, this will not work. One hole right in the middle. Fill this thing full of water, like so. And if you fill your jars full of water, you can put your lid back on. Turn this jar upside down, and as you can see, the water doesn't drip out. Now, what happens is, as the rats come up to the wire and they lick this, watch what happens. As you move that there, see all the water that's now moving? Every time I touch that, it lets more and more water out. You take these here and set them on the top of your rat cages, just like we do, upside down on the screen, and your rats can have water. You can save some money by recycling old jars, help out the environment, going green, and save yourself a lot of money, guys. So one of the tips that we can tell you, especially if you're breeding your reptiles and you're trying to sell them, one of the tips that will save you a lot of time, a lot of aggravation right up front, is take as many pictures as you possibly can of any animal that you have for sale. It seems to be an issue in the reptile community that no matter how many pictures you take, however, there is never enough pictures to satisfy the curious. Take this clip right here, for instance. Cold-Blooded Creations?
Hey man, I was calling about that ad that you done had on the internet. Ad and stuff, man.
Okay, what can I help you with?
Yeah, well, I saw you were selling some reptiles and stuff online, man.
Okay, well, do you have any questions about the ad?
No, man, I already got some alligators and some crocodiles and some dragons and I got some snakes already, man, but I saw your ad and I was like, man, that's kind of cool, man.
Okay, well, let me ask you, are you looking to add any new animals to your current collection?
Well, you think, man, if I give you, my email and stuff, man, you think, maybe you could send me just a few more pictures, man? I need some more pictures, I just like more pictures.
Yes, sir. Well, we placed 12 pictures in that ad.
Well, yeah, I know, I seen the 12 pictures and they're cool and all that, but
Oh, I see. So, right. The 12 pictures don't give you a clue of what the animal looks like, but one or two more, that'll do the trick, right?
Man, just maybe a couple more from a different angle, kind of give me a little better idea of what you're selling, man.
I see.
Hey, I tell you what, would you be willing to trade, all the snakes that you got in that ad for, a Grateful Dead poster, man?
No, sir, I'm not a big fan of the Grateful Dead.
Hey, look, man, hey, I got this. I was at the Goodwill the other day, looking for some stuff to make, stuff out of, man, and I found this Nintendo gaming thing. Would you be willing to trade my My old broke Nintendo game system for like all those snakes in your head?
No, I don't think I'm gonna be interested in a broken Nintendo Play system.
Well, hey, oh, don't hang up, man. Listen, look, okay, all those snakes in your head, they're like, you know, they add up to like $1,000, man. Well, like, would you take $100 for everything?
You have a good day too, sir. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. We hope that you have found something here that you can incorporate into your reptile keeping so that perhaps it'll save you a little bit of time, a little bit of money, a little bit of effort, make the hobby more enjoyable. If you have a tip or suggestion that we didn't talk about, how about leaving us a comment down below?
And also, if you like the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye!
Thanks for watching. So guys, if you enjoyed this video,
You're staying here forever and I'm like, go!
or that they don't get, they don't get gonorrhea.